This video is made for adult collectors because I want it to be. So 2022 is over almost. I know it felt like last month was March, but it's been a pretty big and pretty good year for Transformers. We had the trailer for our movie drop, which blew up on the internet and has started an entire craze on TikTok and Twitter of Transformers memes from people who aren't Transformers fans. We then had not one, but two video game announcements, an Earthspark video game and the 4-player co-op action-adventure open-world game thing that they've got coming out. We've also got Earthspark, which was a very good TV show that people seem to really enjoy, and that last episode especially was just superb. But it also saw Legacy, Waves 1 to 3, so actually, yeah, Waves 1 to 3 and 4, which is starting to come out now, which were great. Like a lot of cool returning characters coming back into toys finally, and aesthetics being investigated and tried again. We also had Studio Series hit its new sort of engineering prowess, so everything's sort of gotten better, more articulated to match the Generations mainline, which is awesome. We had a HasLab come out and a HasLab get funded, both of which happened this year, and Marvel and Star Wars couldn't even do that, which are bigger properties, so that was a huge surprise. And then Masterpiece changed to be slightly cheaper and better. So it's been a great year for Transformers, I think, and I'm really excited to see what 2023 brings us with the release of both those games and the movie. So we'll see. But you're probably here to see the figures I think are my top 10, and there's way too many good toys to even mention an honorable mention, so you'll see a bunch of them on screen, and that's not even all of them. But let's just get onto the list because that's the whole reason why you're here. Number 10. So starting off, we're going big. Leader Class Sludge. I absolutely love this thing. I think it's a really fun leader, and I like it more than Grimlock, just because Grimlock is really just a carbon copy of a lot of other Grimlock toys that exist. His transformation is so similar to things we've seen time and time again. But with Sludge, he carries that similarity, but he also has fresh and new things in his engineering that he brings to the table, which is why I like him more than Grimlock. I don't have Slug, so I can't talk about him yet, but I just think he's the better Dinobot. And he's one of the best leaders we got this year because he feels so worth that leader class price point because of how chunky he is, how big he is, how much plastic he has on him. He's just great. I love him. Definitely go pick one up. Number 9. This one surprised me because I didn't really like the look of the Laser Prime like robot mode when I first saw it. I thought it was okay, but in the Scourge Deco, it's just, yes, 10 out of 10. It's such a nice looking toy. Sure, the proportions are still a little off, and that's why he's not higher up on this list, but the engineering is fun. The posing of it is pretty good, and he just looks menacing. And I love the new deco they gave him. I'm a huge fan of when they do stuff like that. So I like Scourge quite a bit. And he's still available on shelves, even though Galaxy Shuttle has also been released. You can still find Scourge, and he might even be on discount. So I definitely recommend picking him up too. I mean, I recommend everything on this list, obviously, because it's my top 10, so I'm going to stop saying that now. But yeah, he's cool. Number 8. Of course, Galvatron was going to make the list. I mentioned at the beginning that Studio Series has changed, and this is one of those figures that really shows you that the Michael Bay toys have really shifted to be not only on par with the Bumblebee movie toys they were making, but the Generations toys. The engineering on this thing is just so lush. The proportions are off, he's a bit flat, and the paint is weird, and that's why he's not any higher up on this list. But I very much enjoy this figure. I mess with him quite a bit still, which is saying a lot because most of the time I just take the toys and I put them on the shelf and then I'll pick them up for size comparisons. But Galvatron I actually do mess with quite a bit. Number 7. If you hear the buzzing in the background, the furnace just turned on. It's minus 17. G1 Fortress Maximus. This is like, I know this is a lot of people's Transformer grails, not everybody's, but it's a lot, and it was mine. And I did not expect to win the bid on this, and I did not expect to win the bid on this for $40, but I did. 40 US, that's how much this cost me. Shipping was like also, I think 50 Canadian, which is I think about 40 US. So yeah, I got this for about 80, shipping and everything. That's a very good price. He is missing some things, but you know, still a great deal, and that's really why he makes it on this list. That and the fact that he's fucking Fortress Maximus. Like, come on. That's awesome. And again, thanks to Bai for helping me find this thing. Number 6. This is probably the only third-party toy that's making it on this list because honestly, a lot of the third-party toys I got this year I liked, but I didn't think were top 10 worthy. But Mastermind Creations Optus Promenon, the TFCon exclusive version, ooh, I love the bullet holes. I think those look great. But the cape, the posing, the colors, the accessories, it's just all around a very nice package. And the plastic doesn't feel like your traditional sharp-ass, third-party, yucky plastic that you feel a lot. Like, they never round their corners, their plastic feels a bit gritty sometimes. This guy actually feels like a mainline toy, which is usually very good plastic. And he just is a nice thing to just handle. That's really what it comes down to me, is this thing is just very fun to handle. Sure, his alt mode's kind of nothing and his transformation's a bit meh, but the articulation and just the feel of the figure make him how high up on the list he is. Number 5. All right, we've gotten into the top 5 now. We're at this part. And Thundercracker. I love Michael Bay Studio Series Thundercracker, and I love Travis Knight Studio Series Thundercracker. This is my favorite version of the Secret Mold, mainly because the colors in the stock images look pretty bad, but I mean, you never trust the stock images. They always look different from the actual product. And this guy, he just shines. He's very, very nice. All the joints are solid and stiff on mine, and even though Thrust is my favorite Seeker, I like this more than the Thrust version. It doesn't, the cone kind of limited Thrust's head articulation. This is a lot freer to move around, so he's just a nice thing to have. And he's a Bumblebee Seeker, which I think are like the greatest Seeker molds we've ever gotten, personally. I will collect all of these when they make them. Please make more. Number 4. Yeah, Metroplex. Of course Metroplex is going to be here. He is such a big toy. I did have buyer's remorse when buying this thing because I'd spent $250 on it, and that's a lot of money, but he feels worth it. Like, a lot of times you buy a toy nowadays and it doesn't really feel worth the asking price because the prices are going up, but this guy does. He is chunky, he's huge, he's stable, he's very posable for a Titan. Like, I think he's the most posable Titan out there, and he's just great. I definitely think this is the best Titan that they've ever made. And he doesn't even come with a figure to go with him. A lot of the Titans usually come with a Micromaster, a Legends toy, or a Deluxe. He doesn't come with anything because all that money went into his stupid long axe thing. But, I mean, my grandfather liked that. He liked this toy quite a bit. And that's saying a lot because he's my grandfather. Number 3. Yes, of course this was making it on the list. Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Prime, I think, is the best movie Prime toy we will get ever. If they can make a Prime toy that looks like this, cleaned up a little bit, has more articulation, then we're golden. But they can't. They've tried. MPM 04 Optimus Prime was worse than this because they used this engineering, but the plastic was brittle, it was too skinny, his ratchets weren't strong enough. And then you have Studio Series Prime, who is fine, but his transformation kind of sucks and he breaks pretty easily. This thing is great. I know Stinky Blue Rat, he got one because I said it was good and this came broken. That sucks. But I still think this is a fantastic toy. Number 2. Yeah, Victory Saber's number 2. Which means what's number 1? I'm pretty sure you can all guess what number 1 is. But Victory Saber, ooh, he's great. If it didn't have all the quality control inconsistencies that other people seem to be getting, I would have put this at number 1. But that's just holding it back a little bit because you run the risk of not getting a perfect one. However, people told me in the comments of my Victory Saber video that Hasbro is sending out replacement parts to people like right now. So if you have problems, please contact them. They will send you new parts. Like, people are getting new stand adapters, new shield pieces, new torsos for Saber, new wings. Like, if you have something that's broken, if you broke it or it came broken out of the box, talk to them. They will replace it. And he's just fantastic when you have him standing there, especially next to the other 3-star Sabers and Victory Leos that I've got. He just looks amazing. It's such a cool toy. Again, I love it. I think it's awesome. Can you get it anymore? No. I mean, you can get it on eBay, but do you want to spend $300 on it on eBay? I don't think so. But it's still a cool toy. Number 1. Okay, I'll stop. Number 1. Yeah. Of course he's number 1. Why would he not be number one? It's me. You should have expected this. I love the Michael Bay designs. I like the movies. They're not very good, but I like them. And The Fallen, this was a toy I wanted ever since they announced Studio Series. And they made him. And they made him very well. He is such a nice toy. Such a clean figure. It is so much better than the original because my original is starting to disintegrate because it's the 2009 rubber and that's not a very good plastic. This thing, he's so poseable. He's big. He's old leader big. He's got the face ripping gimmick. His staff is actually accurate. The proportions are correct. He's got gorilla arms, but they're not like bad because he's supposed to have gorilla arms, so I give him a pass for that. The smoky clear black look I think looks great, especially when light can sort of hit it correctly. It really pops. He's just a very fun, and the light piping. The light piping is the way they did it like through the mask, I think is such a good way of doing it. He's a very good toy. I cannot stress it enough how much you need to buy one of these things if you are a Michael Bay Transformers fan, because he's the big baddie, and it's sick. It is just superb. Again, I've made videos on most of these toys, so I will link all of them in the description if you want to hear my full thoughts on these things. And let me know what your top 10 were in the comments below. If you haven't already, let me know on the community post, because that would just be cool for me to see. I'm not going to share it anywhere, but I just want to see what your guys' top 10s were, or top 20s, top 50s, top 1. If you didn't like anything from this year, just, yeah, you know, just drop them in the comments. It was great. And let me know what your expectations are for 2023's toy lines. Not movies or anything, just toys. What do you want to see? What do you want to be good? What do you want Hasbro to change? Blah, blah, blah. Like, let me know in the comments. It'd all be great. But yeah, that's my top 10 best toys. I might do a top 10 worst because I did manage to find 10 toys I didn't like this year. But we'll see. And as this is one of those unscripted videos, I don't know how to end it, so I'm going to go and have lunch now, and I'm thinking I'm going to make I might make a grilled cheese. Alright, bye.